When you're cutting, you need to put your fingers like this, and your thumb behind your fingers slides on the finger like that without cutting it.